what was it like when you went on to meet not Legion of Skanks, sorry, Gas Digital? Because I'm fairly new to Luis J. Gomez, and I think he's hilarious, but I also think he's fucking insane. And he's like the real life version of who Vin Diesel plays in the Fast and Furious.
He does have he look, he is a little nuts.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that's very manic in a sense. So like if he likes you and if you're not a disrespectful asshole and you're not out to get him, you're going to get that the same thing that, like, you see him getting Jake Flores's face and you see him fighting Kurt Metzger. Like, by the way, he and Kurt Metzger made up. They're on tour together right now. Like, they're fine. But he did throw a drink at Kurt Metzger and he should try to fist fight him. But Lewis is one of those guys on the inverse of that. If he likes you, you're going to get that same crazy energy in a very loving way. So like when we went there, he, you know what I mean? Like our first impression was he just threw his arm around us and he's like, "You guys want to smoke this fucking blunt?" And we're like, yeah, totally, dude. Like, and he was literally like, the first impression was, "Let's smoke this blunt. Hang on." Fucking rips the door open to the studio and his producer, Nate, he's like, "Nate, why'd you get some fucking donuts?" And his producer's like, You want donuts? And he's like, "Yeah, get fucking, it's Christmas time. It's not festive enough. I want fucking 2 dozen donuts. I want fucking munchkins up in this bitch. Let's fucking do it." It's good. Like, he's that kind of guy. But again, yeah, if you're going around going like, "Yeah, Lewis ain't shit. Lewis is a fucking yeah, Lewis ain't shit." Like, he's not just gonna go, "Well, I guess you can't win them all." Like, he's going to come up to you at a bar and go, "What's up? I ain't shit, doggy. Come on, let's fucking do that." And you're going to go, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't say, he might have, I didn't say that." Like, so I think he gets an impression. Plus, when you're in the comedy community, a lot of these people are very beta. A lot of these people are very like, they're all these Brooklyn hipsters that do their little coffee shop gigs. They're not used to somebody even coming up to their face and going like, No, talk that Cash Money shit you were talking in the car. Talk that shit you were talking last week when I wasn't here. People aren't used to that. They're used to little Twitter battles. But Lewis will come over and just dump a drink on your table and be like, "What's up, man?" Like, so I think that's a bit much for some people. But I didn't grow up around comics. I grew up, I was born in Jamaica, Queens. I was raised in Mastic and Long Island. I've been in some pretty rough areas in my life. I'm used to people coming up and smacking you in the mouth. I'm not used to, like, to me, that's normal behavior. It's probably not normal behavior if you live a normal, comfortable life and you were raised by 2 parents and you had a pool growing up. But I don't find it as unusual. But again, I think you just kind of get back what you give with him. It's just that it gets kind of laser focused and it might be a little bit intense for some people.
But I honestly think that Luis J. Gomez, because he's such a fucking determined, I think they're called entrepreneur or whatever, or entrepreneur, whatever the fuck they're called. That I think he is going to be the guy that at least makes, not the one that overtakes, but he's going to make and design an official competition to YouTube. Whether it's Gas Digital uploads or maybe not something as snappy a title as that. That's just me spitballing. But I think he's going to start something that's going to help all us lovely whites. People.
Yeah, well, he is, and I think him and Legion of Skanks. These are like the last people like fighting for free speech. You know what I mean? These are the last guys that when the New York Times starts knocking on your door and calling you Nazis and all this stuff, and you're giving a platform to Nazis. They could have very easily capitulated and said, No, we're just doing, no, please don't do that. But like, they pretty much told the New York Times to go fuck themselves, which that was the first time we were like, okay, these boys ain't playing around. They're really are telling people to go fuck their mother. And I think that's really great. And I think that, Dave Smith's doing a great job of sort of also fight, he's a little more political than the other ones, but he's very good at articulating an argument that doesn't sound spurgy, so he does a really good job of fighting back. But yeah, I do think that they're trying their best to keep free speech going, and they're also really nice. They're just nice people, and we've got that we've got that bad rap. I mean, me and Royce are on the Southern Poverty Law Center's hate watch list. We've had enough people call us neo-Nazis and shit. Did not phase them. Like, he was still like, nah, come up and do the show, man. I don't give a shit. Fuck those people. Like, that's to have that not give a fuck attitude that's pretty much dying out right now in media. I do think that they're gonna be a big brand going into the future. And I don't know if you know this, but there was a time when remember when Legion with Skanks was on Compound, and Lewis. I don't now. I've heard this from multiple people too. Lewis basically before Gas was founded, he begged Anthony like, "Yo, put me on. Like, let me whip this place into shape and let me, you know what I mean? Let me help you build this thing up and we will take over the world." And Cumia was kind of like, I got Keith the cop. And, we've seen how that's worked out for Cumia. He could have had a right-hand man that was, and again, at the end of the day, it worked out better for Lewis anyway, because that would have been like Lewis just has a job, making some other guy's company better. Whereas now he's an owner and it's like, again, when you go there and you see how they run a show, when you see the equipment they have, when you see the beautiful studio they have in New York City, it's me and Royce, people always say to me and Royce, like, wow, on YouTube, you guys run a real professional operation. When we went there, we felt like we were children. Like, we went there and we were like, there's producers like, we're brewing some coffee. We'll bring it in right before the break if you need some coffee. And the bathroom's right there. And they have like literally you go in and there's a prep sheet and everybody has one. So you come in and even the guest has a prep. Here's what we're going to talk about today. And like the screens have the countdown on it. And it's like when you're going to break, when you're about to go to break, because some of their stuff's pre-recorded. So if you're in there and you're pre-recording, we'll be doing a topic and there's a fucking countdown on the wall telling you like, hey, in 10 seconds, cut it, because this is going to be our 30-minute break. And then boom. And then that's where they insert the ads later. They do little live reads. But like everything was so like there's 2 control rooms, there's producers, everybody's buzzing around. And you're like, we are not a professional operation. Like me and Royce were like nudging each other going, dude, people think we're dude, look at this. Like, so yeah, I think they're going to be a very big deal going into 2020 for sure.
How's producer Shannon in real life? Because online I'd like to stick it in her,
She's it's funny, man, because everybody says like, oh my God, you're so mean to Shannon, like, because it's he's constantly breaking her balls. But again, they're all so fucking nice that just, as soon as the mics go up, it's just literally there's never at no point did I see any kind of a malicious joke or a malicious comment made. Like everything is just done in like, it's a very weird family over there. So, even when I was on the show, Gas Digital is kind of notorious for having the nicest bathroom on the planet. Like they have this bathroom that literally their toilet has a heated seat. It has like electronic settings. There's a bidet. Like it's friggin' insane. The whole bathroom is very high end. And, it was one of the first things I said when I went on Real Ass Podcast. I'm like, dude, by the way, that bathroom over there is incredible. And he's like, first of all, her name is Shannon, and I can call her bathroom. And I'm like, Jesus, dude, like, but that's just how they all joke. And again, it's very cliquey in New York. So I was very surprised that when we got there, everybody was just so nice, and they were like, hey, come to the Christmas party, and we're gonna get fucking wasted later. Come hang out with us. And we were like, we were still waiting for that moment where it was like a really late April Fool's joke or something. Like we were still waiting for the like, oh no, we brought him out to fuck with him. This has all been some elaborate ruse. But no, it's I really think that they're going to overtake a lot of these other little independent media companies this year, and you're going to see some big stuff. And we're going to be working with them on some stuff too in this year. We're already planning some more trips up there and more things. So we're pretty, again, you'll never hear me shit on Luis J. Gomez. That guy has been straight up with us from day one, and he's been nothing but nice. And I also want to thank Nicole Arbor, because if that goofy bitch didn't start with him in the first place, we wouldn't even have gotten to go up there. Because the only reason we got to go up there was Luis saw like a clip that had like 25,000 views of me just destroying this woman that came in and shit on his show. And that he just followed me and DM me, and he's like, you want to come on the show? And I'm like, Lewis, of course I want to come on the fucking show. And I think I had made a comment in the video about like, because people were like, "Oh, look at you, white knighting for Luis Gomez. I guess you're gonna suck his Puerto Rican dick." And I'm like, let's get something straight. I'm not sucking Luis J. Gomez's dick. I'm like, he has like probably 10 unread emails from the last 5 years of me begging to be involved in Skankfest, come perform at Skankfest. I'm like, trust me, never got an email back from him. I'm in no way do I think I'm ever going to get on Skankfest or get anything from Luis J. Gomez, or I would have heard back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, trust me, I don't think this is going to be the turning point. And it's funny when he wrote back to me, he goes, man, thanks. That girl was a real bitch. And you really, thanks for, crystallizing my thoughts about her. And then he's like, and by the way, man, I'm sorry. I don't remember ever getting any emails about Skankfest. Like, even in the first email, he was very apologetic. Like, hey, my bad, man. I don't remember it. I'm like, dude, it's fine. I get it. You know what I mean? Nobody knows who the fuck I am. But, yeah, just very nice guys. And, the Christmas party was cool. We got to meet Big J, and then Dave Smith was there. A lot of people were there, and it was very cool. I think they got a really great thing there, and I just hope that they don't capitulate, because these people can keep coming after you in ways that is unimaginable sometimes.
Well, I guess the obvious question I have to ask now is with Dave Smith, Big J, and Lewis. Fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill. That's a good one. Probably marry Dave Smith because he's nice stable guy. You know what I mean? Like, you want a nice stable home life, so I'd have to go with probably that. See, this is a tough one because I don't want to kill any of them. They were all so nice to me. You know what? I can't. You know what? I would say probably marry Dave Smith, and then I would just let Big J and Lewis spit roast me, and then maybe they'd catch something, and then one of them might eventually die, like by proxy. But I don't think I could actually take a blade out and finish one of them off. It would be like that scene in Game of Thrones when he has to kill the direwolf. Like, you'd go, oh no, it's just he's so sweet. I don't want to kill this dog.
Well, I haven't seen that episode yet, so you just ruined the whole show for me.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Well, don't worry. They ruin it for themselves at the end, so it's fine.